Happy New Week, everybody. How are you doing? It's Mr. E here for a little new weekly check in. Bitcoin on the daily, but today is the weekly, and we're going to be looking at a few other things. First chart I got up today is the Tether dominance. You can see a little head and shoulder type pattern forming here. We got a major support level right here at about 5.55%, 555. So the gist of this, as the Tether dominance goes up, the price of Bitcoin usually goes down. So this is inversely correlated. If this continues to move down, there's a good chance the crypto and the Bitcoin will go up. So let's see what this chart does. You can see we had a pretty long trend that was broken kind of recently here. My little trend line won't work. There we go. Kind of a little retest on that with the wick. Not exact, but similar type of vibes. So that's a good chart to keep an eye on, an inverse correlation of the Bitcoin and the crypto. Moving right along, we can see our 4-hour charts. Stochastics are pointed up. We're still in this little pattern. We're just starting to break out of this little curved line here. We'll see what happens. You can see we got a MACD cross up right on the 0 line, so there is some interest in this chart right now. Let's see if the momentum stays up. Let's run through some other stochastic time frames. 6-hour pointed up, 12-hour fresh cross up. This is one to keep an eye on. See if our red line pops into the 20 level over here. That would confirm this move. So 18-hour, however, the daily is still pointed down. 2-day down, 3-day actually looks like it might have uncrossed. Yeah, see, you got to keep an eye on this stochastic. It'll do that. One day it's crossed, the next day it's uncrossed. Tricky little devil. But if we take a look at the higher term time frames, bulls are still in control. 3-week, 2-week. When you got these higher term time frames lining up like this, you can think of those as the boss running the show. Anything else is just a little pullback or correction. So we'll see how long this lasts. We'll see if our pullback is over or comes down. Had a nice weekly close. You can see here we got a moving average up here. This is the 200, and we actually had a candle close above the 200 week MA for the first time in a long time. We had one over here, two over here, and then we broke below. So this is kind of the first time in history that Bitcoin has been below the 200 week for an extended period of time, and now we're coming out of it. You could argue there's a little inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Something to that effect, not exact, but a couple higher lows in a row. One more would be very good for the bulls. A couple other things to look at on this chart. Gaussian channel on the weekly. Doji candle right in the middle of that band. So this is interesting. See how this week plays out. See if we get continuation or sideways or pullback. A little too early to tell. Have to see what the broader market is going to do, S&P and whatnot. Take a look at the Ichi. We are officially in the cloud on the weekly. This little uptick, this upslope on the blue line is very noticeable. We got a bull cross right above the blue. Dragonfly doji here. These are all bullish signs. We'll see if we can punch through this and continue the march. The march upwards towards glory. What else do we got here? We'll check in on our little swing trade. Again, this is not financial advice. Hypothetical swing trade. We're right back at about our entry. We'll see how this plays out. Bulls showing up a little. Let's see if the week continues the bullish little momentum here. But essentially, we're just in a little sideways consolidation pattern. It's kind of broke this top trend line on the RSI. It's not a perfect trend line. I mean, you could do one of those and say it didn't. So a little subjectivity there. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Let's take another look at this. So this is the chart on the 4 hour. You can see we're just in this triangle formation, consolidating, and one of these is going to break pretty soon, which could give us a clear direction. But for right now, it's just sideways and tightening up. See what happens. So this week we have a monthly close, a quarterly close. We will take a look at those charts when that happens. Those are always useful and chock full of wonderful information. This is Mr. E. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow.